A very good day to you, my friends. Today we will be talking about the Charter Act of 1813. The Charter Act of 1813 is fairly simple, but it is also monumental and important in nature because the Charter Act of 1813 for the first time breaks the monopoly of the East India Company over trade in India, but we will be talking about it later. First, let us look into the provisions of the Charter Act of 1813. Firstly, the Charter Act of 1813 extends the charter. It extends the charter of the East India Company for 20 more years. Okay. This is the first provision of the Charter Act of 1813. Secondly, as I told you, it breaks the monopoly of the East India Company. Therefore, free trade is established in India, but monopolies of the East India Company still remains. Okay, monopoly of the East India Company still remains in matters relating to trade with China and also the trade in tea. So, the trade in tea and the trade in China are still monopolized by the East India Company, and they are also necessary because if we look deeply into the history of trade of East India Company's trade, the trade with China is very important because of the revenue gathered from Chinese trade. Okay, but we will look into trade with the trading practices of Britain in a different episode. For now, this much is sufficient to know that it breaks the monopoly of the East India Company. Okay, and even after extending the charter of the East India Company for 20 more years, but at the same time it allows the East India Company to retain trade with China, monopoly over the trade with China, and also monopoly over the trade in tea. And the third most important aspect of the Charter Act of 1813 is that entry of missionaries missionary activities, okay, and missionaries into India is allowed, okay, by 1813, and it is however predicated upon exclusive and explicit permission granted by the Court of Directors or the Board of Control. So, the Board of Control and the Court of Directors have to approve and permit the missionaries, particular missionaries, separate missionaries who are applying to enter into India and spread the gospel through missionary activities. They need to gain the approval of the Court of Director and the Board of Control. Now, why these changes? We look into the why aspect. Why are these changes being brought about by the Charter Act of 1813? It is fairly simple. Elsewhere I have talked about the rise of the free trade and also the rise of industrial revolution in Britain. So, what happens is that there is a change in the ideology centering upon economics, okay, at that particular point of time, and ideologues have come about who are professing individuation and free trade, and therefore free traders have gained access to the parliament also, and therefore they are influencing policy, and therefore the rise of free trade in India also, and the breakdown of the monopoly of the East India Company. And the entry of missionaries is directly related to the end of the Orientalist phase of Indian learning. Okay, the early British who had come into India, they were you see from the Orientalist school who tried to govern India through Oriental ideas, through ideas which are and through usages and customs which are from India and which have origins in India. They try to interpret the various aspects of governance. They try to interpret the various aspects of life and society in India through an understanding of Indian culture, and that is done through their understanding of the Indian texts. Okay, but that phase is slowly drawing to a close, and the Anglicist phase will soon start. Okay, it has not yet started, but it will soon start with the rise of missionary activities and also the rise of Anglicans such as Thomas Babington Macaulay in the policy making circles. All right, and therefore this shift towards the entry of missionaries into India, the end of the Orientalist phase and the end of respect for Oriental institutions and Oriental customs and usages. It is seen that the idea of a civilizing India, okay, has taken root within the parliament and advocated by eminent statesmen and parliamentarians of that point of time. So, these are broadly the important aspects of Charter Act of 1813, and it is fairly simple. So, with that I hope that you have got the message, and I hope that you will be studying hard. With that I bid you goodbye. Thank you.